Now, from one activist to another, and as we engage in conversation with the women's land rights veteran activist Sizani Ngubane, who has been a formidable presence in the women's land ownership struggle for more than 50 years now. She's dedicated her life to promoting gender equality and the struggle for women and indigenous rights. In that time, she's led numerous campaigns and advocacy initiatives lobbying for the equal rights for rural women and their rights to own land in jurisdictions that are under traditional leadership. Sizani Ngubane now joins us on the phone from KwaZulu-Natal. Ma'am Sizani, good afternoon to you and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me in your program.
Well, as I said in the intro, as someone who's dedicated their lives to promoting gender equality, would you say that this bill has vindicated your struggle?
Sorry, that was not clear on my line.
Can you hear me, Ma'am Sizani?
Yeah.
So I was saying
Could you repeat your question?
Sure. So as someone who's dedicated their life to promoting gender equality, would you say that this bill, that's under discussion has vindicated your struggle?
Yes, it has.
And tell us why.
Because we haven't seen that much difference in terms of women's land, property and inheritance rights. Our main issues are that as a country we have a constitution which is applauded internationally, but as rural women we are still not allocated land in our own rights as women. We are expected to be represented by our male relatives or male local leaders.
Sure. Ma'am Sizani, would you say it goes far enough in addressing women's ownership rights?
Not really, because we still have pieces of legislation like the Traditional Leadership and Governance Framework Act, which states that a senior traditional leader has the right to appoint 60% of the traditional council, and the community can only elect democratically 40% of the traditional council, and that limits the space for women to be able to represent themselves in traditional courts.
Sure. Well, speak to us a bit about, the fight that you've had over the years. How would you describe this fight for rural land rights when it comes to women? And what are some of the changes that you've seen over the years?
Our struggle started by looking at how we could change a situation where, especially in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, where women are not allocated land in their own rights. Out of 300 traditional leaders, we only know 4 traditional leaders who allocate land to women in their own right as women without being expected to be represented by their male relatives. So that has been one of our main issues, very high in our agenda.
I mean, we just spoke to researcher Nomboniso Gasa, and she, advising us as the media to also speak about some of the wins that have come out of these challenges. Maybe share some of that with us, some of these challenges that you've taken on head on and have come back successful. In Utuwela district, we received a message from one of the members where members were concerned about how 12-year-old little girls were abducted and forced into marriages in exchange of ilobolo of between 4 and 8 cows. We took our struggle into the district, and the local women took us through their challenges, and we were able to win the struggle. At Utuwela district, we haven't seen any adoptions of little girls who are forced
into marriages for 9 years now.
That's amazing. Speak to us about your fight. I mean, you know, as I've said, you've been fighting for land rights for women for many, many years, and that is even despite the threats that you've received to your life.
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy struggle, because you sometimes, as an activist, have to challenge the people who maybe do not want to be challenged, and that puts our lives at high risk of being attacked.
Sure.
So, but because we have this oomph inside ourselves as activists, we try our luck and challenge them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good experience for me as an individual.
Sure.
I have had to change places, run away from this place to another place. My home has been vandalized. It's not a good experience, but the results are good at the end of the day.
Sure. Well, we thank you for all your efforts, and we wish you luck with all the other challenges that are yet to come. And we thank you for just speaking up for women when it comes to their rights, especially their land rights. That's Mum Sizani Ngubane, who's a veteran activist who's been fighting for land rights for women for many, many years.